Srimati Indira Gandhi Government First Grade Degree College for Women, Sagara. She has attended various national and international conferences and she has delivered various lectures as well. She has also authorized various books like Nirvahana Arthashastra, Rural India, Farmer Suicide and Marukattegala Arthashastra, and also ma'am has extended her complete professional and academic involvement being a director in KUETA, external question paper setter for UG Economics LB and SBS College, Sagara from 2011 till 2017. We are so glad to have you here, ma'am. And also ma'am has extended her achievements in guidance for being a MA project reports to Kuvempu University, Shikaripura, worked as an in-charge principal at GFGC Reponpet, working as a HOD Department of Economics at GFGC Shikaripura, working as an member of New Syllabus Revision Committee for BA Economics of Kuvempu University for the paper Indian Economics Environment during 2016-17, and also question paper setter for UG examination, and Vice President for Alumni 2017 of Department of Studies in Economics, Kuvempu University. Welcome you, ma'am. It's my pleasure to welcome you for this particular session, ma'am. Heartily welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's over to you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor Sushma. It's a great honor for welcoming our resource person for the day. So now it's time to hand over the mic to the resource person, and I wish everyone grab the information whatever the ma'am is conveying, and equally we have a ample of questions to clarify, ma'am. We need a clarity from your end. So we are expecting that clarity, including with the session. And we are, thank you so much. And you can take up with the session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think it is visible. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Your voice is also audible, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, Jnanavati Degree College, Yelahanka, for giving me an opportunity to participate as a resource person in this 5 days faculty development program on NAAC criteria. I have been working as IQAC coordinator in the Government First Aid College, Shikaripura, from last 3 years. At presently, I has transferred to this Srimati Indira Gandhi Government First Aid College for Women, Sagara, recently. So, as we all know that in the yesterday's session, we had learned about criteria 1 and 2. Before starting criteria 3, I would like to share some views on this NAAC Revised Accreditation Framework 2022. As we all know that the earlier manual, it is of having 96 matrices, whereas it has been made very easy and flexible and comfortable in this revised accreditation framework that is of 2022. Now we have only 55 matrices from all the criteria 7, total criteria 7 criterions. So it is very much easy for us now to consolidate the documents which are related to all the 7 criterions. So today let us start with criterion 3. It tells about the research activities, innovations practiced in HEIs, and as well as the extension activities. The total weightage which has been given for this particular criteria 3, it is of 110 weightages. Total we have 5 key indicators. Among the 5 indicators, key indicators, we have total 9 matrices. Among the 9 matrices, quantitative matrices will be 6, and while that of the qualitative, which are in the description forum, we have 3 matrices. This is the overview of the criterion 3. When we come to the key indicators, we can observe that the research activities can be done only with the help of the convenient amount of resources, financial resources. Therefore, the key indicator first, that is 3.1, it tells about the resource mobilization for research activities. It carries 10 weightages and it is having the QNM matrices, that is quantitative matrix. We don't have any qualitative matrix in this particular key indicator. When we come to the second key indicator, that is 3.2, it's about innovation ecosystem. The knowledge transfer from one generation to another generation, and as well as a higher education institution, how the knowledge gained by the students as well as it has been transferred to the community or society in an effective manner. That particular intention can be fulfilled by analyzing 3.2 key indicator. When we come to the third one, in the second key indicator, 3.2, we have weightage of 15, where we have both the quantitative metric as well as qualitative metric. And the third one, that is 3.3, it's about research publication and awards. Awards taken by the faculty members and as well as the research publications contributed by the faculty members in their own higher education institutions. It carries 25 weightage. In this particular indicator, we have 2 quantitative matrices. And the fourth key indicator, it tells about extension activities. Because as we all know that as a higher education institution, it is the responsibility of each and every faculty as well as the students to give their service to the community along with their studies. And by this way, the knowledge which has gained by the student as well as faculty, it has been transferred from institution to society or community. Therefore, through extension activities, we can transfer very effectively the opportunities or the possibilities which we can have in the institution to the community. And community related activities comes under this particular key indicator. Because of this, as highest weightage, it's of 40. In this particular key indicator, we have 1 quantitative metric as well as 2 qualitative description metrics. And the last key indicator, it tells about the collaboration which has been made by the institution with other organizations as well as institutions. And the details of all those collaborative activities comes under this particular key indicator. Therefore, its weightage is about 20. In this particular key indicator, we have 1 quantitative metric. Therefore, in this way, put together all the 5 indicators, key indicators. For criterion 3, we are having 110 weightage, and in the form of table, that is data templates, we have 6 data templates, whereas in the description forum, we have 3 qualitative matrices. And now let us go through one by one the key indicators. The first one is resource mobilization for research. In first key indicator, the 3.1.1, here comes the details of the grants, research grants received by the institution from different government as well as non-government agencies for different research projects, whether it may be minor research project or it may be major research projects like this during the last 5 years. All the data should be given in lakhs. Mention should be made in lakhs only. In this particular table, we have quantitative metric. We can observe in the screen that there will be a specific pattern for this data template. In this particular data template table, we have all the information about the research projects. For example, name of the research project as well, or endowment, and name of the principal investigator, co-investigator, which are who are responsible for undertaking this particular project, and as well as the department of principal investigator. And then we have to mention the year of award of that particular research project. We have to mention the year of award which has been mentioned in the sanction letter. That particular year only we have to mention. And then the column, it's about amount sanctioned, total amount sanctioned for this particular project. And then it's about the duration of the project. Most of the time it will be, figures will be in the form of months, that we have to mention in this particular column. How many months duration is there for that particular project, and name of the funding agency. There are plenty of funding agencies are there for this research activities for this project. For example, it may be UGC or ICSSR, or it may be CSIR, like that. We have to mention the particular funding agency. And the last column, it tells about whether the particular research project is about whether it is comes under government project or it is comes under non-government project. That we have to mention. Here, for in this particular data template, we have to mention the data for all the years. For example, if 1 year, if you don't have any data for research project, that we have to leave blank or show it as a 0. And the year for which we have the projects, that we have to mention in this particular data template. And the about table, this particular table, small table, in that we have to give the data as year as well as the number. The number means the number of projects, total number of projects. For example, for the year 2020-21, in our institution, we have 2 research projects, whether it may be government or non-government. We have to mention in the 2021 column 202, like that. For all the 5 years, we have to mention the number of project. As I said earlier, if you don't have any research project for that particular year, we have to mention as 00. And the next here in the screen, in this particular slide, we can notice the important function which it has to be fulfilled by that particular matrix. That is the main responsibility of the IQAC coordinator or IQAC cell is that to coordinate principal to list out research projects as well for different funding agencies. And it may be very easy for the faculty members if the IQAC gave the list of research funding agencies from all the streams, from arts, science, commerce, like that, from all the streams. If you can make the list of funding agencies, and it can be circulated among the faculties. And along with that, we have to convey the message to the faculty members to apply for research projects, and by writing proposals, research proposals for every year, as and when there will be a call for projects, that has to be done by the IQAC cell. That is very much important from the IQAC side. And the required documents for this particular matrix is of sanction letter of grants by funding agencies. For example, if we are taking the minor research project or major research project from UGC, there will be a sanction letter which has been given by UGC for each and every faculty in the name of the principal, and that particular sanction letter has to be uploaded in this particular matrix as a supporting document. And it's about the grants details, that is key indicator 3.1. When we come to the key indicator 3.2, it tells about the innovation ecosystem, which carries 15 weightages. In this 3.2.1, it tells about, as I said earlier, institution has created an ecosystem for innovations and has initiatives for creation and transfer of knowledge in the form of publications or in the form of patents, or it may be in the form of incubation center facilities, which has been given in the higher education institution. That we have to mention in a write-up which contains a maximum of 500 words. That's why it is considered as a qualitative matrix. In this particular description, we have to explain how our institution has utilized the facilities which has been available in the higher education institution, and how we are transferring the knowledge from institution to that of the community or to the society. That we have to mention all the details. If there will be, if there is a there are patents which has been filed by the faculties in that particular institution, that we have to mention in this write-up, and research publications, research papers, and the topics of the research papers, which how by publishing different articles and papers, how faculties are involving in the research activities, which has made which facilitates the institution to communicate the knowledge from institution to that of the society. And then the innovative activities, different innovative activities which has been taken by the institution, that it has to be mentioned in the particular description. And from the central government, a particular facility has been announced for higher education institution. As we all know about that, that is Atal Incubation Center. And by writing proposal to start up India plan, we can send the proposal from the higher education institution for the establishment of Atal Incubation Center in our institutions. And by making use of those incubation center, we can very effectively create as well as transfer the knowledge from institution to the community. And each and every institution must have a innovation club, and there will be one coordinator who is functioning as a mediator between the student with that of the community through this innovation club. And the required documents for this particular key indicator as a supporting document, it is that of the detailed report of the activity which has been done by the innovation club in this particular institution in all the 5 years. That activity details that has to be maintained, and geotag photos of the innovative activities, and the supporting documents, for example, the number of students who are actively participated in these innovative activities, that has to be maintained as a supporting document. And by this, one has to keep in mind, the idea is that wherever we write the description, it must be of a maximum 500 words. More than 500 words, it will not take in the particular portal while we are entering the SSR data. And wherever description is there for as a qualitative matrix, each and every description must have been supported by a specific document. All the required document which has been given, for example, as an example, that has to be uploaded in the upload file options in SSR. And that is about 3.2.1 qualitative matrix. When we come to the next one, in the 3.2 key indicator, it tells about a specific quantitative matrix which carries 5 weightage. In this particular matrix, we have to mention the number of workshops, seminars, conferences which has been conducted, organized during the last 5 years by the institution. That is mainly related to research methodology, intellectual property rights, and entrepreneurship development activities. Those data has to be maintained as well as filled in this particular column. Here we have to mention, and that particular year, how much activities, the total activities which are related to the research methodology, IPR, as well as EDP, Entrepreneurship Development Program, that has to be mentioned. For example, in 1 year, in 18-19, if our institution has organized only one research methodology workshop, in this particular column, we have to write 01. For the next year, it may be of 3. For that particular year, we have to mention a number as a 03, like this. And for this particular matrix, because it is a quantitative matrix, we are having a particular data template which is having a specific forum. In this slide, you are getting the idea of that particular data template format. For example, in the first column, we are having the year. we have to mention the year, whether it may be 2018-19 or 1920 like this. And in the second column, we have to mention name of the workshop, bar seminar or conference. That is, if we are conducting, if we are organized research methodology workshop or a seminar about research methodology or a conference about research methodology or a workshop about IPR like this, that particular title of the workshop, seminar or conference, it has to be mentioned in the second column. Whereas in the third column, it tells about the number of participants. We have to give the, we have to mention the total number of participants, whether 100, 110, 120 like this. The number of participants we have to mention. Here, one important thing has to be kept in mind, that the whatever the number we present in this particular column, that is number of participants, we must have the supporting document for this participation. That means in the report of a particular workshop or a conference or a seminar, we have to maintain a list of participants. In that particular list, we have certain number of participants, whether it be 110, 120 like that. Only those number of participants has to be mentioned in this third column. There will be no confusion or no mismatching between this number of participants with that of the actual document. Because in the DVV, they may ask about the list of number of participants, the document. We have to produce, if they ask in DVV about this number of participants. So wherever number of participants data is given in the table, we have to keep in mind that we must have a supporting document for this participants details. In the fourth column, we have to mention the details of the date of or the duration of that particular program or activity. That means whether it has been organized for 1 day, 2 day, 1 week like this, from date and to date, that has to be mentioned in this particular column. And the last column is very important column because here we have to mention the link of that particular activity which has been uploaded in our institution website. In our institution website, we have to upload each and every activity which has been conducted under this matrix, whether it may be related to research methodology or it may be related to IPR or it may be related to ED. That has to be uploaded, and the same link has to be given in this particular column, last column. So this is for 1 year. Like this, for all the 5 years, we have to give the data. It has to be kept in mind that if we represent the data, if we put the data, enter the data for all the 5 years, then only we can get 5 weightages, full 5 weightages. Otherwise, if we don't give information for any 1 year, like that, marks will be reduced according to the data which we have been entered in this particular data template. And so for applying or fulfilling this particular matrix, each and every institution has to organize regular seminars, conferences, workshops at college level in collaboration with other institutions or research institutions or department, university department or UGC like this, in collaboration with all those research institutions or organizations. It is the important responsibility of IQAC to monitor these activities regularly for each year. For each year, if we are conducting only one workshop or seminar or conference related to this particular topics, it is more than sufficient, and minimum one activity has to be conducted to fulfill this particular matrix. And then now we move towards the required documents. What are the documents required for this particular matrix as a supporting document? First, it is about the detailed report of the total program, total activity. For example, if we are conducting 1-day research methodology workshop, for that particular workshop report, it contains all the information related to that particular program. For example, as I said earlier, it must contain the number of participants and the invitation, as well as the circulars which has been circulated among the faculty, or it may be if that particular activity is conducted for students, then the circular must be there for the circular related to the students must be there in the report, and then the photo gallery will be there. And if you are prepared any brochure with related to that particular activity, that has to be attached in the particular report. And as well as, most importantly, the feedback of that particular program, that is very much important, because in most of the cases in the DVV they may ask about the feedback given by the students or faculty for that particular program to be attached in the report. And a geotag photograph is must and should. And then the resource persons, in that the details of resource persons, for example, we are inviting the resource person through our institution with a inviting letter that has to be kept ready as a supporting document, and the response given by that particular resource person through mail or through a formal letter, whatever it may be in the forum, that has to be maintained as a supporting document. And the thanking letter which we give, or the attendance certificate which we give for that particular resource person for attending as resource person for that particular seminar or conferences. All these documents must be kept ready as a supporting document for this particular matrix. If one program has been conducted in 1 year, all these documents has to be kept ready for that particular 1 year. If we had conducted more than one activity, 3, 4, 5 activities, whatever we have to get ready all the supporting documents related to all the activities. This is about the matrix 3.2.2. Let we move towards the key indicator 3.3, research publication and awards. It carries 25 weightage. In this particular matrix, that is 3.1, it's about a quantitative matrix. It carries weightage of 10. In this particular matrix, we are giving the details of the publications, research publications in the journals notified on UGC in the last 5 years. Until now, the revised manual has been announced. Until then, all the ISSN journals, it will be considered for this particular matrix. But now onwards, only UGC care list journals publications has to be matrix. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the IQAC to insist all their faculty members to publish their papers, articles only in care list journal, because we have to give the link of those journals for each and every article or journal of the each author in the data template. So for that reason also we have to publish our research paper only in UGC care list journal. Again, in this particular matrix, we have the 5 columns in 2 rows, that is row and the total number of publication in that particular year. So as you can see in this slide, the data template, that first we have to prepare this particular data template or table, then only we can get the number of articles for that particular year. Year-wise we have to prepare the data template, then we have to mention the total number of publications in the above table. So let us now understand about the data template which is related to research paper publication. The first column, it is title of the paper of that particular author. Title we have full title we have to mention in the first column here. And in the second column, the name of author, as well as if more than one author, all the author names should be mentioned in the second column. When we come to the third column, it's about the department of the teacher, the author department has to be mentioned in the third column. When we come to the fourth column, here we have to mention the name of the journal, that particular UGC list journal in which our article has been published. And then the column, it is about the year of publication, whether it is 2018 or 19 or 20, 21, like that. Particular year has been mentioned in the article, that has to be mentioned in this particular column. Next column is about the ISSN number, where this ISSN number can be seen in each and every article, first page, and that has to be written in this particular column. And next columns are very much important. Here you can see that link to the recognition in UGC enlistment of the journal. Here in this first column, link to website of the journal. The website journal for that particular journal has to be given in this particular column, first column. And in the second column, actual, we have to give the link of the actual article or page or abstract of the article. That means by clicking that link, it will go to the article page in our in that particular journal. That article page has to be given as a link. And in the last column, is it listed in UGC care list? Yes or no? We have to mention in the last column. Like this, for each year, we have to prepare the data of the research publications. And then we have to add all the details, number of papers, and then it has to be mentioned in the above table. So it is the responsibility of the principal as well as IQAC coordinator and co-coordinator is that they encourage their faculty members to write research papers, and the institutions may give financial support for research work as well as the publication work, because it will be considered in the sixth criteria, whether in that we have to give the information about the financial support given by the institution, the faculty members for their academic development. That information we have to give. So for that reason, if we give the financial support for research as well as publication works, it will be considered in the sixth criteria also. So it is the responsibility of the institution to support the faculty members to conduct regular research as well as publication work. And it is the responsibility of the IQAC to organize special lectures as well as the seminars on writing research papers, how to write a research paper. Those topic has been covered by IQAC as a workshop, as a seminar topic. And here link has been given for this care list journals link. So as a supporting document, we require documents is that link of full papers to be displayed in college website. In the college website, in the research and development menu, we can have a sub menu which is related as a UGC care list journals or publications, like that. By clicking publications, we go to the page of year-wise article links that we can provide in the college website. That has to be kept ready before entering details in these data templates. That is about 3.3. When we come to the next metric in 3.3, it's about the publications or the papers published in national and international conference proceedings or edited volumes or books by each faculty during last 5 years. The one thing I would like to mention is that whatever may be the number of publications made by single faculty has to be considered as only one in number for that particular year. For example, in the 2021, if I had published 5 articles in UGC Care List Journal, it will be considered as a only one publication. And for that reason, it is the main responsibility of the principal and IQAC coordinator is that the number of faculties, total number of faculties present in the institution, they must have published, each faculty must publish one article in each year. Then only it will be considered as a full point for full weightage. Because if only one faculty publish 15 articles in a year and the other 5 faculties they don't publish any at all, then will be considered as a only one publication, one number like this. Therefore, it is the responsibility of the IQAC is that to maintain or to encourage each and every faculty to publish at least minimum one article in 1 year like this. And when we come to the 3.3.2, here as I said earlier, in this particular matrix, it is a quantitative matrix. It carries 15 weightage. Again, here we have to give the data for all the 5 years. Last 5-year data we have to mention. First column, it is serial number, then the name of the teacher, faculty, and then the title of the book or chapters published. For edited books, if we have in those books, if our article has been published, then we have to give the title of the book and then the title of the paper. Our article title has to be mentioned in the 4th column. In the 5th column, if the conference paper or presented paper has been published in proceedings, conference proceedings, that has to be mentioned in the in this column, title of the proceedings of the conference, and then the name of the conference in which the conference proceedings has been published, that we have mentioned. And next column, it is whether it is national conference, seminar, or international conference and seminar, it has to be mentioned. And in the next column, that is year of publication of that particular article. And next comes about the number, that is ISBN number of the proceeding, and then the affiliating institute at the time of publication. It is very much important, as you all know that in the SOP they have clearly mentioned about this, that the articles or the papers in which we can have in which they have mentioned the affiliating institution's name, then only it can be considered for calculation. Otherwise, it has not been considered for calculation as a quantitative matrix. Therefore, the faculty where he is working as a faculty, that particular affiliating institute name has to be mentioned in the publication. That information has to be given in this particular column, affiliating institute at the time of publication. And last column, it is about the name of the publisher. The publisher published that particular proceeding or a book or a chapter, edited book, that has to be mentioned, details of the publisher. Therefore, all these data can be fulfilled only with the help of the faculty involvement in research activities. So, the institution must encourage their faculty members to write research papers, books, as well as chapters in books regularly. And again, financial support for participation in conferences, that has to be given by the institution. For example, a particular fund has to be maintained in the institutions for this financial support for the faculty members. For example, for participation in conferences or presenting papers in conferences or publication of papers, as well as for having membership in the different institutions, that has to be maintained by the institute. And in this way, by giving financial support, the faculty can be encouraged to involve more and more in research activities. And as well as As I said earlier in the earlier matrix, in this matrix also for writing different chapters as well as conference proceedings or papers, presentation for papers, regular special lectures, seminars, as well as workshops has been organizing by different institutes regarding the writing of research papers. That is very much important. As a supporting document, we have to maintain the these details which have been mentioned in this slide as a required documents for each article. For example, for one article, cover page must be there, content page must be kept ready, and the first page of the selected publication. That means for example, in the first page, you can get the title of the article, details of the author, detail of the publication, and the date of publication. All the information you will get in the first page of the selected publication. And in the content page, you will get the author as well as content name. Therefore, that has to be maintained for each and every article. And next requirement is that of web link of book showing ISBN number to be given by title, author, department or division like this, and year of publication. Because this can be done with the help of institution website. As I said earlier, in the research and development column, for public, if we create the publication menu, in that you can bifurcate submenu as UGC care list journals and as well as ISBN number journals like this, or conference proceedings like this. If you create submenus like that, in that particular submenu, you can again create the year-wise link, and that particular year you can put all the articles in the above said forum as a web link. That is more than sufficient for each article. And while uploading the details of these articles, one has to be kept in mind that the cover page, the content page, that is technical page, as well as the first page of the selected publication, it must be visible. Clear visible is can be made only by scanning in a proper manner, and all those documents must be clearly visible. Then only in DVV we cannot get any queries regarding this publication. Otherwise, each and every institution's DVV, they will have a one common query about this publication. That is about the 3.3 key indicator. When we come to the fourth key indicator, as I said earlier, it is having the highest weightage, 40 weightage will be there. It is about extension activities of the higher education institution. In this first matrix, that is 3.4.1, the extension activities which has been carried out in the community, and as well as sensitizing the students towards the different social issues, and which has been helpful for their holistic development, and all those activities come under this particular matrix for the last 5 years. Therefore, it is not a quantitative matrix, it is a qualitative matrix. It carries 10 weightage. Here, for this particular matrix, we have to write maximum 500 words. In this particular description, we have to give the information about how our institution has been engaged in extension activities, which has been helped a lot for the community, society. For example, by giving awareness programs in self-help or in community or roads, or with the help of street play, with the help of demonstration like this, different social issues will be used, and how the institution has given awareness among different social issues, and how the institution is the students as well as the community about social problems as well as issues. all those information must be given in a small write-up which contains maximum 500 words. So for writing this particular write-up, few functions has to be made by the each and every institution, like by organizing regular extension activities through different committees, cells like that of NCC, NSS, Red Cross, Red Ribbon, Women Empowerment Cell in the community, and identify the impact of extension activities in sensitizing students to social issues. For example, from the Department of Sociology, there will be a street play played by the students regarding drug addiction or regarding corruption, like this. All that comes under this particular matrix, and as well as Red Ribbon, Red Cross, health related activities which have been conducted in the community with relates to community will be mentioned in this particular matrix. Like this, these activities, they must have regular routine works. They must be they will be considered as a regular activities of the higher education institution. Then only we can write effectively in this particular description. And then we move towards the second part, that is, what are the required documents for this supporting document, as a supporting documents for this particular matrix. The major supporting document is about the detailed report of each and every activity. For example, conducting health checkup camp in the rural areas or a particular village, in a particular area of a city. For that particular activity, we must have a detailed report of that activity, the name of the resource person, and as I said earlier, the letter correspondence which have been made to invite a particular resource person for that particular activity, and the communication which has been made with that of the health department or hospital, like that has to be maintained, and the number of beneficiaries of that particular extension activity, that is most important supporting document which each and every institution must maintain as an extension activity. And as a common geotag photos and the feedback which has been taken by the beneficiaries is that is very much important, because those feedback itself will be considered as the result of that particular extension activity, that has to be maintained. And the brochure or the pamphlet or the invitation which has been prepared for that particular activity, it has to be considered as a important supporting document. This is about the first matrix in 3.4 key indicator. When we come to the second matrix, it is again a qualitative matrix which carries weightage. Here again we have to write a description of 500 words about the awards and recognition received for extension activities from government or government recognized bodies. That means if a collaborative activity or a extension activity has been carried out with the help of different institutions, different government departments, government bodies, for conducting those activity, if a particular institution gets any particular award, that has to be kept in record, award letter as well as recognition certificate, appreciation letter, that has to be maintained for this particular matrix. So for fulfilling this particular matrix needs, each and every higher education institution must identify whether how many government as well as non-government recognized bodies are there in and around their institution, and they will conduct many programs, government sponsored programs, and institution must participate actively in each and every program, as well as they must apply for awards, and they must apply for awards with along with the documents which they have maintained for that particular program or activity. Then it has to upload the award details. If that particular institution get awards, it has to the responsibility of the institution to upload the award details in their college website. That is very much important. And the required documents again for this matric as a supporting document, it is about award letter or the recognition certificates which has been given for the institution for conducting that particular extension activity. For example, if we are uh, conducting or organizing any particular extension activities along with the collaboration of along with the help of or collaboration of a Gram Panchayat, we can get the letter from Gram Panchayat as a recognition certificate, as a appreciation letter for conducting that particular extension activity in that particular Gram Panchayat area, and it has been benefited a lot for and by in this way, in that particular letter, they will appreciate the participation of institution in that particular activity. That will be considered as a supporting document for this particular description. And that is about the 3.4.2 matrix, that is QLM matrix. Each and every award letter or recognition letter can be uploaded in college website in a separate menu. In a separate menu, if we upload year-wise all those letters, it will be very much easy for uploading the link or supporting document in SSR. That is one way how we can get easily the link for a particular matrix. When we come to the third matrix, it tells about the number of extension and outreach programs conducted by the institution, different committees. In the earlier matrix, we give the description of different activities has been conducted by the institution. Here we give the data. Therefore, it is a quantitative matrix. It will contain 20 weightage. Here again, we have to mention the year-wise the activity, number of activities conducted. In the first column, it is about name of the activity, whether it is a Swachhata Karyakram or it is a blood donation camp or eye checkup camp or tree plantation. Like this, it has to be mentioned, the title of activity. And in the second column, it is about the organizing unit or agency or collaborating agency. As I said earlier, whether we are collaborating with the Gram Panchayat or the district hospital or with that of the agencies, it has to be mentioned specifically in this particular column, organizing unit, or whether we are collaborating with the blood bank or forest department or health department or Taluk Panchayat or Jilla Panchayat, like this, whatever may be the collaborating or organizing university or department, it has to be mentioned clearly in this particular column. And when we come to the third column, here we can observe name of the scheme. That means as a through NSS or NCC or Red Cross, in by which scheme or which committee we are going to conduct this extension and outreach activity. That has to be mentioned in this particular column. Okay, when we come to the last column, year of the activity, year in which this particular activity has been conducted or organized, that has to be mentioned in this particular column. In this way, after fulfilling all these necessary details, this particular data template has to be kept ready, and then only we can mention here in the above table year as well as the number of activity that has to be given. And here one thing has to be kept in mind, that outreach activity or outreach program can be shown only when the program has been conducted for the community, not for the institute, not for the students, our own students. The activity or the programs which has been conducted for our students, that cannot be mentioned in this particular matrix. All the details which has been conducted only for the community or society, that has to be mentioned in this particular data template. And therefore, it is the function of or the responsibility of the institute to conduct regularly various extension as well as outreach programs by the institution through different departments as well as different committees or cells like this. And again, for this metric also, the required supporting documents, it is about detailed report of each program to be prepared. It has to be prepared, detailed report. For each report, the first page which contains the summary of the report. In that summary of the report, we have the details of the date of the program, the program coordinator, title of the program, as well as the number of participants, and the brief description of the specific program. That must be in the first page as a summary report, and in the proceedings page, we have the detailed information about each activity, that is the registered or participants list, geotag photos, and feedback given by the participants or beneficiaries, as well as the invitation, pamphlet, brochure, and as well as the media publications or media report, newspaper cuttings, if any published for that particular activity, that has to be kept as a supporting document for this particular metric. That is about 3.4.3. When we come to the last key indicator, it tells about the collaboration, and it carries 20 weightages. Collaboration. Here in this particular metric, 3.5.1, the number of MOUs, collaborations, linkages for faculty exchange, student exchange, internship, field trip, on-the-job training, research, and other academic activities which have been made during last 5 years, that has to be mentioned. Therefore, this requires a data. It is considered as a quantitative metric. It carries 20 weightages. Here again, we have to fill the data template like this in this form. First one, serial number. Second one, name of the MOU or collaboration or linkage which we have made with other agencies. In the third column, name of the collaborating agency. For example, if we are making MOU with the other institution, academic institution, that particular institution name has to be mentioned in the third column. And year of signing MOU or collaboration. If we are signing for 1 year, only 1 year, that particular year has to be mentioned. Year, for example, 2020 or 21. And in the next column here, we have to mention duration of MOU collaboration. That means our MOU is valid for, whether it is valid for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years like this. The total duration, it has to be mentioned. And there must be kept in mind about one thing about in this MOUs is that whether we sign the MOU for 2 years, we cannot represent a single same MOU for both the years. For example, for 2019-20, 2021 validity is there for that particular MOU. We have to mention that particular MOU in any 1 year. We can't represent same MOU for both the years. That has to be kept in mind. It has been mentioned in the standing operating procedure of the SSR. It has been mentioned very clearly in that SOP. And the next column, it is about list actual activities under each MOU and web links year-wise. That means we have to conduct at least minimum 1 activity for under 1 MOU. Then only that MOU is considered for this quantitative metric. Otherwise, it will consider as a non-functional MOU. Therefore, that data will not be taken into consideration. Therefore, in this particular column, we have to list the actual activities which has been conducted under that MOU. For example, if we are making a functional MOU with other academic institute or college, any other college or institute, we have to mention the activities. whether we have conducted faculty exchange programs or student exchange programs. That has to be mentioned in this column. In the last column, hello, 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 is it audible?
Hello. Mr.
Hello.
Ramesh Naik, can we have a question and answer session at the end of the session? Let us give a time for the resource persons to convey their data information. We'll be having a question and answer session, sir. Whatever the queries you have, you can clarify with the resource person. Right now, can please give space to madam to convey the content in a flow. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I will finish within a few minutes. Okay, it
No
is
issues,
come
ma'am.
to
You
an
can
end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In this particular matrix, that is 3.5.1, we have to give the list of activities which have been organized under that particular MOU. As I said earlier, for example, if you conduct any faculty exchange program with a particular institute under a particular MOU, that has to be mentioned, or student exchange program or internship activity which has been conducted, all such type of activities which have been organized under a particular MOU, that has to be mentioned in one column itself for that particular MOU. And in the last column, it is about the link for that particular document. For all these link column, we can make use of our college website or institute website very effectively, because all the activities report, it has to be uploaded in the, if we upload the reports of all these MOUs activities in a college website, then we can very easily get the link for this last column. That particular link of the program for that particular year, it will be pasted in this particular column. So in this way, we can fulfill all the data or information which has been asked for this particular quantitative matrix. And for this reason, for effective representation of data in this particular matrix, a institution has to fulfill the responsibility of making MOUs with various agencies at different levels, with that of the industries or corporate sector companies, or national and international research institutes, or academic recognized academic institutes like this. It can be make use of that platform and make MOU, and each MOU can be functional MOU only when, as I said earlier, that particular institute organize or conduct minimum one activity under each MOU. That will be considered by the DVV partner. Only functional MOUs will be considered. Otherwise, we just put the data, it will be not considered for any calculation. That is the main responsibility of the institute. And the supporting documents, as I said earlier, copies of the MOUs or collaboration letters or related documents that has to be uploaded in the college website year-wise, and there must be a table. If there is a table, it is very much easy to analyze the data. If we mention the table, that is in the year column, we have to mention all the 5 years. In the second column, if we mention the MOU related topic, or MOU related agency's name, or in the third column, all the activities reports which will be uploaded in the third column, then we can very easily get the information for this particular matrix. Okay, this is about all the indicators of this criterion 3, and some of the major changes which we can make in our college website or institution website is that for easy documentation or for easy supporting document availability, for DVV partners, we can create different menus which are related to each and every criteria, whether it may be criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or like this. We can create menus for this particular criteria, and in that particular criteria we can upload all the supporting document in different headings. For example, for extension activities, we can create in student support program, or in ITC menu itself. We can create the extension activity submenu. In that, again, we can create the year-wise menus, and we can upload the extension activities. And by doing like that particular work, it has become very easy for SSR updation. SSR details can be very easily available with these type of supporting data. So this is about all about criterion 3. This is about the presentation. If anybody having any queries or any doubts regarding, I will try to clarify. I am not definite. I will try. Okay, I will try to clarify doubts. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a really wonderful session. Now it's open for everyone. It's a platform to everyone who had enough queries. You can ask with the resource person and you can get the clearance of the same. So it's you can ask for the questions if anybody. Yeah, ma'am. I have a query regarding the same in the criteria. It's like question paper setting. So if any of a faculty who has set a question paper, so usually when we set a editor book or a chapter, we can update in the template. But what about the question paper setting? If a faculty has set a question paper, and in which criteria they can have, or else I as a criteria 3 I should update the same. That is my question.
No. I think it will be there in criteria 1. Oh. Yesterday they may have taken the session, and in that you may get the you might have get the information in the criteria first. Okay. There will be a key indicator where we can give the information of academic responsibilities. Okay. In that particular key indicator, you will get the information about this, and there you have to mention the question paper settings, as well as the BOE, BOS member, academic council member. All those information will be there in criteria 1. There you have to mention it, not in criteria 3rd.
Okay, ma'am. And my second query is like related to the extension activities, NSS, NCC, in that criteria, there is a description, that is qualitative method description we want to give, right, ma'am? Over there, after the description of 500 words, do we need to give the list of activities over there?
No. There itself you need.
Template we need to update, right?
Yeah. One thing you can make use of the available information is that if you have given information in the college website in a separate menu for these extension activities, you can copy that particular link and you can copy it in this particular description. After writing the description, in the below space, you can give the link of that particular extension activities. Okay. It may be act as a reference for their verification.
Okay. My third query is, in our college named Kantama, who stays at Yeshwanthpura, and our college is located in Yelahanka. Madam was awarded from like Yeshwanthpura localite, like considering government appreciation or awarding. Okay. Can we consider that appreciation letter in our website while we are going for the NAAC?
Yeah, if only in that particular letter they had mentioned the institution name, that is of Government First Aid College Yelahanka, as a
Okay.
faculty member, then only you can use that particular for your reference.
So whatever the
Otherwise,
association gets for the individual should be named under the institution.
yeah, that they had given in the SOP itself. That
Okay.
particular affiliated institute name has to be given in that particular letter.
Okay. Ma'am, there is one of the query from the participant, Seema Harira Mani. On similar lines, when a faculty member is invited to draw question papers of other universities or colleges and are invited to conduct the Viva, so where can we show this?
Yeah, as it is in the manual, I think the details of the question paper settings or attending as an external examiner for other universities, it cannot be considered for direct in criteria 1. Criteria 1, it will come under criteria 1, but there we can mention only for our institution, our affiliated university information only, as in the SOP. Other universities, it will not be considered, but for the safer side, you can mention it in your college website. Okay, college website in criteria 1 menu, if you give the supporting document details, in that particular, you can create a link for separate link for other universities or other institute like that. You can give the title, and under that you can upload the documents of that.
Okay.
That cannot be shown as an extension activity.
Okay. Hope Seema ma'am got clarified with your queries. Any other queries from the participants?
Madam, namaste.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Madam, Nagaraj anta V8 degree college inda.
Yes, sir.
Madam, 2-3 sati quote ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ your college website ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
Okay.
ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ದು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ PU and ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಮೂರು ಒಂದೇ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರೋದು.
Okay, it is a
ಸೊ ನಮ್ದು
composite.
ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಸೊ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದು ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ PU and ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಎಲ್ಲದು ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಮೇಡಮ್?
ಸರ್, ಆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆನೆ ನಾವು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೇನೆ ಒಂದು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹತ್ರ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಹೋಪ್ ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆರಿ.
ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸರ್ ಅದು?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಅನ್ಎಡೆಡ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹೌದು. ಓಕೆ, ಅನ್ಎಡೆಡ್ ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ದು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಸರ್. ಅದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದೇ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ತೀರಾ ಅನಿವಾರ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಅಂದಾಗ ಆತರ ಕಂಬೈಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ DVBಗೆ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ SSR ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೆದರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಹ್ಯಾವಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಈ ಕಾಮನ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಹೌದು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ DVB ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಕಂಬರ್ಸಮ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಬೆಟರ್ ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಓಕೆ.
Any queries from the participants? The session is open for the participants to ask for the queries.
Yes. Namaste, ma'am. Ashwini ma'am. This is Dr. Kantamma from Jyoti College.
Namaste.
Here I have one doubt regarding that MOU, ma'am.
Yeah.
Previously, what we were doing while preparing the MOU, under the college letterhead, principal have mentioned some terms and conditions, and principal had signed with seal of the principal.
Yeah.
And we are taking same terms and conditions with the collaborating institution in the letterhead only. But as per the recent information, we need to prepare the MOU under the stamp paper, like that they have received the information very recently, ma'am. Can you clarify that?
Yeah. You're right. As of the latest information, Most of the DVV partners, they are considering only the MOUs as a functional MOUs which have been prepared in the stamp paper itself. So it is, it is right to prepare your MOUs in the stamp paper itself. It costs hardly 20 rupees or like that. That will be better, safer side.
Then what to do for previously we have already
Yeah,
prepared MOUs.
for previous MOUs it is okay. For in the recent years, they are insisting for this stamp paper MOUs.
Yes, next year
Yeah.
onwards, what they are preparing MOUs, we need to go through the stamp papers.
Stamp papers. But in the regular MOUs itself is also in that separate first party, second party, it has to be mentioned in the regular MOUs. It will be in that forum, it is okay.
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 Okay,
Next question.
Yeah.
Question barkolri. Let z comma plus comma dot.
Dr. Gayatri madam, if you have a query, you can ask ma'am. Ashwini ma'am, there is another one question from Srinath. If the conference organized in a particular stream is not published in the form of a book, then can such paper presented in the conference can be considered?
No, it cannot be considered. Only the papers which, even though the papers are published in a full forum in conference proceedings, then only it can be considered.
Professor Srinath sir, hope your query is cleared. If anything else is there, you can proceed with the query, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Kavya Raj, raise the hands. You can ask the question, madam. Kavya Raj, if any query is there with you, you can raise the query, ma'am. Okay, any other participants have the queries, you can post. Ma'am, there is a other one. Salma Nawaz. Ma'am, signature of participants take for all seminar reports?
Yeah, it is needed. It is needed. Most of the DVV clarifications will be for that only. It is if it is possible to make an habit for organizing each activity where we can get the signature of all the participants, that could be better, because at the time of report writing it is very much useful, and that's why it is very much needed. And most of the DVV partner they will ask for this clarification for registration of participants or the participants list. Because in the data template, they ask in a particular column for a number of participants. For supporting documents, they will ask for the signatures.
Ma'am, other question is, like nowadays we are, most of the colleges are into a webinars.
Yeah.
So will it be having the same weightage as offline seminars?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, but all the report, it must be in the same order itself. That means the supporting documents will be same for webinars also.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you. And there is one query from Reshma. Getting signature is mandatory now.
Yeah.
But what is clear question? I didn't get, ma'am. Madam is
for signature for what? I think it's for.
I think Salma ma'am question. Maybe Reshma ma'am also answered for the same. I think so, ma'am.
For the previous years also, it may be safer side if you prepare for previous year's activities also.
Yes. And the second thing, ma'am, now we are conducting webinars. So instead of signatures, can we consider the feedback form as an?
Yeah, we can consider as a feedback forum, or as well as the registered participants. The document for registered participants list. It can be considered as a participants list.
So when we, and the other thing, ma'am, extension activity. Under extension activity, there are like Swachh Bharat, whatever the national festivals we celebrate. All these things are to be considered under NSS, or we need to have any of the study centers for the particular?
No, for if we take the, if in the institution, if we have various other committees or other these centers like that. In the starting of the particular academic year itself, we can bifurcate the activities or the programs among all the committees or study centers like that. If we have bifurcate the programs or activities, then it will be the responsibility of that particular committee or cell or a center to conduct it, and it will be equal distribution of the responsibilities.
Okay, but all these should be considered under NSS, this one, ma'am?
No, not like that. Not like that. According to the programs, whether the program related to women studies or women related programs, it can be organized by women empowerment cell, post cell, or it may be organized by women centers or like that. If any centers are like that, they can also organize that. Not for only for NSS like this.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the resolving the questions, ma'am. And now I have again, it's an open platform for the participants to ask the question. For Hanu Sridhar, is there any question with you, ma'am? Hanu Sridhar, ma'am? Yeah, you can mute yourself and ask the question, ma'am. It's an open platform for all the participants.
So in call messages I'll miss.
Hope there is no queries with the participants. Thank you, ma'am. It was really a resourceful session and a fruitful session. Now it's time to render the oath of thanks. I'll be there is a query. We are doing geotag. Yeah, ma'am. Ashwini, ma'am, there is a question here from Rupashri Siddharaju. We are doing geotag photos and creating links nowadays, but what about the previous years?
Yeah, previous years you can use the old photos itself.
Okay.
You can use it. Yeah. It is not mandatory for all the previous years.
Okay.
For recent years, you can mandatory for geotag photos.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, Kushal Yadav, we will be sharing the link shortly. And now we are sharing the feedback form. So you can fill here, and it is not being posted in the WhatsApp group for the Google form. Kindly fill here, and complete links and PPTs from the resource persons. Everything will be shared very shortly. And now,
ma'am, I want to say something.
Yes,
okay. In the earlier starting of the presentation itself, I have to mention it, but I forgotten because as I am from Government First Aid College, our SQAC, State Quality Assurance Cell, in the Department of Collegiate Education, it has been working very hard to uplift the government institutions as a quality initiatives. Therefore, the PPTs which I had shown in this particular presentation and the information which I had gathered for this particular presentation, it has been supported by our State Quality Assurance Cell from the Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. I am very much thankful for all the special officers, nodal officers, and our Honorable Commissioner for initiating all of us about this particular NAAC process and guided us in time for a effective accreditation process. Thank you, SQAC, from my side. And I want to thank all the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present this particular criterion. I hope I had fulfilled some of the doubts which has been arised after my presentation.
Yes, ma'am, it was really a knowledgeable and fruitful session. Really, we learned many things which is related to the criteria 3, and especially I am the member of the criteria 3. I learned many things, and thank you so much for your answers for the queries which we were needed. And really, there is no second word to express that it was clarified with the maximum extreme. So we are so happy for your session, ma'am. We understood maximum of the things which is needed in the criteria 3.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I request our beloved fellow colleague, Mr. Girish. Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, to render the vote of thanks. And the link for feedback will be there, open for 5 minutes. So the link is shared in the chat box. You can fill the Google feedback.
So thank you, Rashmi ma'am. So good evening to all. So I am Girish, Assistant Professor of Department of Computer Science. So I deem it a great honor and a privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this knowledgeable session. So let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's session resourceful and success. So first and foremost, I thank our special resourceful and knowledgeable resource person for a day, Dr. H. Bidrali. And now I would like to thank all participants for your active participations. Now I thank Principal Sir and IPSC Coordinator Dr. Kantama HK for providing such an opportunity to conduct FDP. And it's my pleasure to thank all my fellow colleagues for their heartfelt support to make this event successful. Once again, thank you all. Over to Lakshmi.
Thank you, Girish sir, for rendering a vote of thanks for the session. Hope everyone are filled with the Google form. Still, it will be open for 5 minutes. You can fill the Google form. And thank you for the resource person with the full-fledged knowledge. And it was a fruitful session. We were being fully expressing our heartful wordings for the Dr. Ashwini H. Bidhali. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. And participants, kindly fill the feedback form, and the link will not be shared in the WhatsApp. So the link is available in the chat box. You can take it within the chat box for next 5 minutes.
Hello.
Nagat sir, Heli sir.
ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ನಿನ್ನೆ ದಿವಸ ಒಬ್ರು ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಂದಾನೆ. ಇವತ್ತು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡೆಡ್ ಅಥವಾ PPT ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇದು 5 days ನಾವು ನಡೆಸ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು?
ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗೂ ಸರ್, ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ FDP ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಏನ್ ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಸಿಪೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೀವಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಗಳಿಂದ ನಾವು PPTs ನ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೇಮ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಶೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಸರ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್.
ಖಂಡಿತ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಆಯ್ತು. ಮನೆಯವ್ರ ಲೇಟಾ? 4:15.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಇದು ಕಾರ್ ತಂದಿಲ್ಲ.